Check mic for me.
Okay.
Audio.
Sorry. I check 1, 2, 3, 4. I check.
Thank you.
Sneak it in here. It might be the only actual, like,
No, I think
freestanding
fine.
recorder.
Thank you very much.
Everybody get a white balance? You got enough cable, bud?
I have another one.
Okay, we're good.
What's up, you? Want a drink? You know,
Yeah, that's just the one show. Production done, you know.
Yeah. Gotta have that.
boom. I'll go sit on a seat. I'll give you my check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Anybody else need a white balance?
One more time, it was something.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Thank you. Got it.
Anybody else need a check? Everybody have good sound? We're good on sound? Thanks, you'll find. So we're just waiting for one more person who's coming up the elevator. She just doesn't need to set up or anything, so we'll just be another minute or so.
It's hump day.
Yeah. It's superintendent or- Right. That's-
All right, good morning. Thank you all for being here. Thank you online as well. We're here to talk about Native American improvements in education, and here's Superintendent Tom Horn.
Thank you. We are here to celebrate an incredible improvement in academic performance in a number of Native American districts. Phenomenal performance of which Chinle is the champion, but there are others as well, and it deserves statewide recognition because the Native American districts really have done tremendous success. When I took office in January 2023, I found out almost immediately that the average proficiency rate for Native American students was 5%. This upset me quite a bit because I realized that would have a very negative impact on their future in the economy and on their well-being. And so I said we were going to change everything we're doing in that respect, and we're going to focus on academics. I think Lynn remembers that conversation, almost my first day in office. By the way, I should have introduced who's here. After I speak, Quincy Nate, the superintendent of Chinle, will speak. Then Michelle Udall, who's head of our school improvement, and then Lynn Yazzie, who is the head of our Indian education office. I met then with tribal leaders who were also shocked to hear the 5% number, and they agreed with me that significant action had to be taken. The offices of Indian Education, Lynn, and School Improvement, Michelle, have worked together to help improve outcomes for students by providing training, visiting schools, supporting teachers, principals, and superintendents, and working tirelessly to help schools and students succeed. With outstanding leadership from leaders of Native American districts and our help, the proficiency rates of Native American students have soared. The following districts have more than doubled the number of students testing proficient in math in just 1 year. Ganado Unified School District, 159% increase. Red Mesa Unified District, 149% increase. Babakivari Unified District, 197% increase. Kayenta Unified, 122% increase. Sackatoon Elementary, 124% increase. And Tuba City Unified, 113% increase. At least 9 predominantly Native serving districts substantially improved both their math and English proficiency rates this year. The champion has been the Chinle School District. 3 of Chinle's elementary schools scored above the state average in both math and English this year. Think of that, above the state average. If this spreads and this trend continues, our Native American kids could outperform the rest of the state. And I have 4 quotes I want to share with you from Chinle School District principals and district administrators, and then you can hear from the superintendent himself. The first one, Superintendent Nate's first school board meeting lasted for 2 or 3 hours, and the whole topic was about the boys basketball team. Now our board, and I have nothing against basketball, by the way, I played in high school, but I think academics are more important. Now our board meetings are quick and conversations are about student achievement. So it speaks to what people are thinking about, what leaders are thinking about, what teachers are thinking about, and what is at the top of people's minds. Second quotation. CUSD staff, that's Chinle staff, regularly use data to make decisions. For example, staff might identify specific minimally proficient students to help them increase their proficiency level. Third quotation. One big thing I know makes us successful is being data-driven. We look at the numbers to make decisions for the best interest of our students. Fourth quotation. We are data-rich, and we use those data points to drive every decision that we make for the good of our students. Now we are going to work hard to continue to spread this success and improve the success. But I want to give the podium to our hero, our champion, the superintendent of Chinle School District, Quincy Nate.
Yak she Quincy Nate yin shie. Ye idinet kachi ni shle tworichi ni bashishi ma ideshki nera shachetsa na jinera shanala. I am Quincy Nate, the superintendent. First, I want to thank Superintendent Horn for this recognition my district's receiving, Michelle Udall as well, and Lynn Yazzie in the Department of Education. I can only speak about my students and how proud I am to be a part of their journey. It's about improving their quality of life by providing a quality education. I have an excellent team. Can't be done without a very supportive governing board, my teachers, my support staff, and my administrators. We have come together as a community and have truly focused on what's best for children. And I'm very proud of how far we've come academically, because we're giving the tools for my students to be successful when they graduate high school. And they go on to be a college student, maybe an enlisted personnel, a career immediately. We have 13 CTE programs in my district. And so I'm very proud of what we've been able to accomplish. I'm often asked, how did you do this? And so we call it our keys to success. First, it's coming up with a plan, thinking about, in Navajo, we have Nasahakis, Nahata, Ina Sihasin, that's thinking, planning, living, and reflecting. And so we developed those Diné philosophy tenets in our district to create this change process that we're seeing for our students. And so our focus has always been about the child and what can we do differently to improve their outcomes. So the strategic plan is one. One is PLC, something that we offer day-to-day job-embedded professional development for our teachers. And last but not least, changing our mentality from when I went to high school. I'm a product of Chinle High School, or the district. When you got to 8th grade, that was good enough. We've changed that mentality from that to pre-K to career or college bound. And so I cannot say enough about my team and my students, most importantly, my students, and what we've been able to accomplish, and for the communities that we serve in Chinle Unified School District. And again, I extend my gratitude for this recognition to Superintendent Horn and his team as well. Thank you.
Well, our gratitude goes to Superintendent Nate for the wonderful results you've achieved. The next person to speak is Michelle Udall, who's our Associate Superintendent for School Improvement, and who brought the program that we've adopted, Project Momentum, to our Native American districts. Michelle.
I just want to share how proud we are of Chinle and why we are bringing this to your attention today. Back in 2016, Dr. Nate began to be a superintendent there in Chinle in 2013. In 2016, fewer than 15% of their students were proficient in either math or reading. And 3 of their schools had D letter grades. Their highest performing schools received Bs. So they were mostly Ds, C, and some Bs. After years of Dr. Nate's leadership, 3 of their schools outperformed the state average, as the superintendent said, in both English and math. Last year, all of Chinle's schools received A or B letter grades. To see that improvement over the years of his work there is incredible. He's focused on academic outcomes and high expectations, on believing that the students in his care can perform at the levels that are required of them. He's ensured that teachers and school leaders understand these high expectations and have the capacity and the training to reach them. Last year, 2 Chinle elementary schools, Saley and Chinle Elementary, received top state and national awards for the work that they have done. This year, Chinle Elementary's also been nominated for recognition. But not only has Superintendent Nate impacted his own district and his own community, but as he says, he wants his district to be a lighthouse for other districts. We're beginning to see that impact at other districts around the state, particularly districts that serve predominantly Native American students. As you can see, in the last couple of years, and as Superintendent Horn stated, we've seen proficiency in some of those surrounding districts double, more than double. We have seen those kind of improvements. Many of those leaders have spent time with Dr. Nate and with his school leadership, and they are learning from that. We've been able to work with them further through school improvement in a project called Project Momentum. And through Project Momentum, we're capitalizing on that leadership and on those improvements that he's made in his district and helping to bring some of those same academic focuses to their districts. We are thrilled with the work that he's done. We're excited for him to show what's possible and for other districts to gain in their own capacities. And so I just really want to congratulate him on the work that he and his staff have done and on the students and the community there. Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. And finally, we have Lynn Nyazi, who is the head of our Office of Indian Education, which is a legislature-established office, and who has played a major role in the success we've had. Lynn?
Thank you, Superintendent. Yada Shaylin and Yazi Inishia to a headlining Nishnago, my dish, because you bushes chin, Tatnazani the Shache, Dokia Ani additional. Hello, everybody. I am also actually a product of Chinle Unified School District. I completed all of my K-12 education there a number of years ago, and I'm so proud to be able to share in the celebration of Chinle Unified, who's kicked it off. But we also have so many districts and schools and communities across the state that are celebrating now because of the amazing accomplishments and gains that are being made by our Native American students with the support of our educators, of our school staff, and of our district leadership. And I just, on behalf of the Office of Indian Education and my team, would like to also share in that excitement. We're here to do the work, we're here to support, and through that, we want to acknowledge how important that representation is here at the Arizona Department of Education. And through the support, the funding that came through in 2022 from the state legislature, but also the expansion of the team from 1 to 7 in just a few number of years. And so that has made a great difference. And I also want to just acknowledge and thank the champions who've been advocating for Indian education for not just years, but decades now. And so because of all of you, this is has been made possible, and we look forward to putting in the time and the effort moving forward. So thank you to all of our students, to our parents, to our community members, and those that are there to share in the success as well. Okay.
And we have some people here, I can tell, from our Office of Indian Education. Thank you for your work. So we're happy to take questions.
Superintendent
Yes.
Horn, tell us a little bit about this chart behind you.
Yes.
As you're measuring proficiency, is this K through 12 proficiency that's on this chart, or is it just kind of the ACT based proficiency numbers?
You know, okay.
Yeah.
This is all of the tested grades. So this is grades 3 through 8 and 11. So those are the grades that we have the statewide assessment for.
And the blue is what existed in 2023 when we came in, and the red is what has been, and the orange here has been what has been established
Just this previous year.
in the last 2.5 years.
And what is the statewide proficiency rate for ELA and math by comparison?
In general,
In general,
yeah, in English language arts, it's about 40%, and in math is about 33%. We have a lot of work to do there too. That's why I want to be here 8 years, because it takes time. Any other questions?
Yeah, I would like to ask about, Superintendent Nate and Ms. Udall, about specific strategies that, you pulled from this and, that worked at these schools. I know professional development was one that you mentioned, but yeah, what did this look like on the ground?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question.
What did, making these changes look like on the ground, like day to day? What were some strategies
Michelle
that
would be
the
a good one, I
district
think.
and department used?
Or
Go ahead,
Okay.
Some of the changes that we made, a big focus on early childhood literacy, and that's why we've established preschool programs throughout my district. And so that's been I think research speaks to, if a child cannot read at 3rd grade, if they can read at 3rd grade, their chances of graduating high school increase 70%. So we've made a huge push for early childhood literacy, and as well as backfilling the other grades. So literacy is important to me, because as a child, I had excellent teachers that helped me learn and enjoy the love of reading and helped me become who I am today. And so that's just a tenet that I have, and I'm a testament to, if you do the right work and focus on, give the kids the right tools that they need, they will be successful. So that was one of the major changes we made.
Sure. There are several very well-researched things that you can do to improve outcomes at schools. And I think really what they've done is adopted those. One is just that focus on academics. Dr. Nate spoke about PLCs earlier, professional learning communities. And that's really bringing together your teachers that teach the same subject, having them look at data about their students, and then working to help each other be better. Earlier in our discussion, we talked about him finding one teacher that was seeing a lot of success in 5th grade math, and having that teacher then lead a group of teachers and explaining to them what he was doing and looking into how that was working. That's the best way to build capacity within your schools and within your teachers, is to have them work together as teams. And that's one of the best ways. And then just also having great leadership. Great leadership matters. And so building the capacity of the leaders. And some of the things we do in Project Momentum is to work with the leaders on how do you have professional learning communities that are effective? What are the leadership skills that are needed? What are the things that leadership can do to help this kind of success? But also you have to have high expectations. That's probably the first one. And what Dr. Nate first brought to his district was that he believed that his students could succeed at these levels and higher. And without that belief, nothing happens.
Do you want to say a word about the overall success you've had with Project Momentum?
Sure. So we have worked with some other consultants to develop a framework for school improvement called the Project Momentum Arizona Framework. And it's really based around those research best practices and just implementing them. We know what works, but it's not always easy to implement those best practices. And so it's really just implementing the best practices that we've known for years work. Instead of grabbing for the newest thing in education, it's really about staying the course with the things that we know work.
And just to follow up on Project Momentum, I mean, what is the scope of that? Is that operating in all schools, or what's the status?
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have the funding capacity to operate in all schools. We probably don't have the capacity to do that anyway at this point. We are in about 400 schools across the state. They are schools that are in school improvement they're federally identified or have DRF letter grades. But we're in about 400 schools. That has increased in the past 3 years. When we began, I think we started our first year at about 68 3 years ago. So that's grown very quickly, and we're seeing a lot of success there.
Do you want to say
Many of these schools are in Project Momentum.
Did you want to say anything in general about the data about the benefits of Project
Momentum?
Momentum?
Sure. Over the course of Project Momentum, of what we've seen so far, those schools in Project Momentum see about twice the gains that the state average sees. So if the state average goes up 1 percentage point, they're seeing 2 percentage point per year, and about 3 times the gains in math. So we are seeing incredible success with that project.
Superintendent Horn,
Yes.
a couple of things that have been in the news. One you might not have heard of, but again, Arizona Treasurer Kimberly Yee has denied a request for a $3 million cash advance to the Nottaburg School District. That's in Maricopa County. She's recommending consideration of receivership for this district. Are you aware of that? Is this on your radar?
Yeah, I disagree with her. The district has had unexpectedly fast growth, and cash advances are fairly common. They're entitled to it under the formulas. We've approved it. The county treasurer, who was very resistant to advancing cash for another district, as you may remember, has approved it. And the treasurer is holding it up, and I think that's been irresponsible of her, because there's no showing that this is a reflection of problem. It's a reflection of fast growth, and these are funds they're entitled to. Some of them get advanced. This is not that uncommon.
Also, last night, ABC 15, we ran an investigation about superintendent salaries.
Yes.
Finding that of 84 districts we looked at, 33 of the superintendents received $50,000 or more in compensation a year above base pay, often in additional retirement annuities, bonuses for performance, sometimes just lump sum cash stipends. Are you concerned about what superintendents are making in some of these districts and whether or not it's on par with what market value is?
Right. I think the word to emphasize is some, because most superintendents work very hard and they earn their compensation, but there are some that are excessive. And this is something I've been concerned about going back to the time I was on my school board, which is, I don't want to say how many years ago. I served for 24 years on the school board, long enough to hand diplomas to my 4 kids, and 10 years as its president. And next to us was Scottsdale. We were much larger than Scottsdale, but we paid much less to our superintendent than they did because we promoted from within. I believe in promoting from within because you know the strengths and weaknesses. Scottsdale and some other districts think the solution is to bring in someone on a white horse from outside, and they don't really know what the defects are until they get there. And so they have to pay a lot, whereas when we promote from within, the payment can be reasonable. We ran a study very early on when I took office showing that those schools, well, let me just say what we did. As soon as I got a majority on my school board, we cut our district office in half and send half of them back to the classroom because I think money needs to be spent in the classroom and not in administration. That's one of my crusades. So we ran a study that showed that districts that put most of their money in the classroom rather than administration do better academically than those that have an excessive amount of money in administration rather than in the classroom. We desperately need to increase our teacher salaries, and these some examples. It's not all the superintendents by any means, but some examples of excessive salaries take money away from teachers who deserve it. So this is something I've been crusading on. I don't want to tell you how many years since I was on my school board.
Do you think that there at least needs to be increased transparency? Some states require school districts to post their superintendent contract information on their website so the public can easily see.
Well, I think they're public information, so anybody can get them with a records request.
Well, we're still trying for some districts after several months, but
Well, you have the courts if you need it. But yeah, I think if they post it on their website, that's a good idea. I think the problem that we have, which again is not general problem, it's a problem in some cases, is as follows. We're a local control state, so I have no influence over that. The people have influence over that, and so people need to find out what is their school board doing, and if they don't approve of what they're doing, they need to replace them. That's where the power rests, is with the voters in school board elections. Any other questions? Okay, thank you all for coming. We appreciate it very much, and thank you all